Oh, okay. No, we're good. We're good. I didn't forget for too long to unmute my mic. Anyway, today, uh, given that it's only been a day since the last broadcast. Yeah, something interesting. A semi long time viewer, I guess, has requested and, in fact, sponsored, interestingly enough, a look at the way that I create my art pieces, which is these sort of um, what would you call them? We call them a study of space. So yeah, we'll take a look at how my mindset, which is completely chaotic, completely absolutely chaotic, and absolutely kind of all over the place, and see how that goes, right? Okay, well, let's get started. So first thing to note is I almost always use a pre-existing one for, I guess, laziness reasons. So the whatever you call this, the frame and the titles are already in place, and all we need to do is to change them. You'll see that this was from the 17th. No, what am I saying? It was from the 20th at 5/5/19. And yeah, so that particular one I had already gotten rid of, and a lot of the time I have no idea what I want to do. So and so yeah, so actually I don't know if you can see all of these. No, you can't see the. Hmm. Maybe we should make it smaller. Let's make it smaller. Just for just this one's. Let's see. That's we're almost there. So oh, no. Like this. There we go. For those who are confused, I am on an ultra wide monitor, and therefore it is a completely different aspect ratio than would normally appear. Anyway, so yeah, so this is essentially my entire workspace. Let's see. You sometimes when I get really pretentious, I just start with a line like that, and we go from there. And today we will make that two, and for a variety of reasons, but mostly because of my engineering background. I am a stickler for cute numbers. And so generally something like this will happen. Let's put that at 75. And actually that brings up an excellent point that someone in the Discord channel is making, and is it still considered art if I'm putting numbers on it? And yes, of course it is, you dumb silly person. Of course it is, because art, regardless of how we define art is, at least to me, as someone who doesn't need to sell this, as someone who can live comfortably regardless of whether anyone buys this or not. um, I consider art to be something that is my expression of the world, and I used to think that art wasn't for the creator but for those who look at it. But I think my view has changed a little bit to the point where um, it can't just be for myself, but it also can't be just for someone else. So in a case like this, where I am doing this essentially for no resources whatsoever, um, it can't be for myself, or rather, no, that's not that's not what I'm trying to say. Uh, but give me one quick second about what I am trying to say. 200. It's at 775. So no, so this should also be at 775. There we go. Yeah, we're good. And so art for me is a combination of, you know, personal expression, but also it can't just be um, something completely oblivious and something that is completely irrelevant to the world, right? And particularly for those eagle-eyed viewers who might be more familiar with geopolitics or Russian. Um, on the 20th, I did make what was essentially a tribute to the New START treaty, which is a nuclear non-proliferation treaty between the USA and Russia. And obviously, I don't know why. It was fun, and it was an interesting thought experiment, because as I was doing it, we sort of, if I were speaking out loud, I would have talked about things like nuclear non-proliferation, hippies, radical peace, all of that good stuff, right? So anyway, let's do this at 200. No, that isn't right. That's 150. Yeah, but also I don't want it to be. Yeah, there we go. What is that? 61? No, that's not 61. Let's do. Is 50 too much? Yeah, so let's do 75. Yeah. So there again, my personal preferences as an engineer come into play, and so sometimes I will just play with things like this, right? Like, say that's 130, perfect, and the fact that every layer that we go down, the oops, that's not what it's supposed to be. The transparency actually changes. So if we scroll down into here, we see that sort of descent into nothingness. It's actually kind of cool, and I think I've played with this kind of stuff before. I can't remember. I'm sure someone. Yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna talk about the date because I'm not that much in love with myself. We're going to reduce the transparency to 50% just so it's still visible, and so you can see that each layer, the transparency, the opacity increases by 50% from the previous layer. And so if we were to take this ad infinitum, we would get, a really interesting effect. Or if we actually expanded these rings and we changed them, instead of having, what is this, 5 rings, we would have an infinite amount of rings, we would come to that interesting gradient where it disappears into the middle. Also, we're going to do this actually. This is 1. We're going to change this to 0.5. We're going to change the, no. 2/3. Oh, are you gonna not let me do 2/3? I see how it is. What's 2/3 of 7? 7 is 2 divided by 3, 4.6. So this will have to be 0.5. 5 times 2 divided by 3. That'll have to be 3. Oops, not miter. 0.3 and 0.3, 2/3 of 0.362. So this, oops, excuse me for a second. This will have to be 0.2. So yeah, so something like this. We started with some basic shapes, and that's kind of the idea of the study of space series, where we start with some fundamental shapes and then we just sort of see where that takes us, right? And so I started by putting this on the bottom here because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I sort of thought it would be something with a circle on a slope and something on top. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm not sure it needs any more. Yeah, I'm not sure it needs anymore. I think what it needs is, sorry, give me one quick second. I have what? Oh my god. Okay, my old boss wanted to talk to me about something. Um but I'm not sure this actually needs anything more. Except perhaps not be angled in this direction, since everything that I have is angled in this direction. So let's do that. What do we think about that? It still feels a little bit more pretentious than I like. Or no, maybe we should say it feels less pretentious than I like. How do we make it more? Oh, I know. There we go. 600, 600, 600. There we go. Now it looks like a fucking. Now it looks like a Pokeball. But you know, actually, that reminds me of something else. No, 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 that's not it. Yeah. So actually, what I think this reminds me of is more shall we say, not a Pokeball, but rather a the Copernican method for for how the solar system works, right? So before my boy Copernicus, what is his first name? Let's find out. Nicolaus. Well, interesting. Nicolaus it is. Um, so Nicolaus Copernicus. Before him, everyone assumed that the Earth was the one revolving around the sun. No, the other way around. The Earth was at the center of the universe, and everything revolved around the sun. And after his own particular shall we call it a sacrifice? That makes it more like a Pokemon. After his sacrifice, he sort of he led the revolution, which in turn changed the heliocentric models. Changed to the heliocentric models. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I'm looking at this particular circle and where I want to put it, and it's pissing me off. But yeah, this happens all the time. I'm basically done, and then I mess around with things for another hour because well, not hour, but now that let's not do that. Let's do. No, this looks fine, but maybe we shouldn't use. Yeah, let's not use a black line. What if we use a red line? Like that. That's not bad, isn't it? Okay, that's it. That's all the brain cells we're gonna spend on that. And let's give it a name. What shall we call it? Something pretentious. I think I've used Fade to Infinity. Let's call it Depth Perception. There we go. Today's the 23rd, 22, 24, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I know this was not informative at all, and it was mostly for my own fun. But thank you very much, my friend guess, friend for sponsoring this. It was actually kind of fun, and we shall end it here. In conclusion, since actually, yeah, what? No, I was gonna skip. No, we don't. Red doesn't look very good. Hmm. But black is not good either. What really? Yeah, there we go. Depth perception. I swear to God, I have something basically exactly like this. Just before I make a fool of myself, let's go and check. No. So let me just double check that. Oh yeah, I do. Basically exactly like this. I have more than one thing basically exactly like this. Oh, that's why are you not in order, by the way? That's weird. Okay. First of all, we're gonna rotate this, and then we're going to. No, we're not gonna rotate this. We're going to have 0 height. Can we not do that? Oh, okay. We can't do that. So what I'll do instead is I'll just draw this line that is 950. No, what? Oh, no, there we go. This should be at 600, width of 950. That's cute. Maybe like that. Yeah, okay, that looks. Does that look less pretentious? I don't know. Maybe we'll do it like that. No. Let's go back. Yeah. Okay, we're good. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. In oh wow, 70 minutes. In conclusion, don't do Chrome. Download Firefox. Even though this is a sponsored cast, still download Firefox. Have a I don't know. I don't actually know if my voice transmits that well when I'm speaking at a low register. Anyway, good night. Have a bye.